know you're at work, and I figured I'd get your voicemail. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that I did. I was thinking about this morning, the fight that we had before we hung up the phone. Just replaying everything we said over and over. And when you get off work, I'd like for you to come see me. I feel like we need to have a serious conversation about where this relationship is and what happens next. So, I'll see you tonight. All right, bye. Hey. No, please don't hug me or kiss me or anything right now. Please, just sit down. We need to talk, okay? Look, I've been thinking a lot today, and just about the things that you said this morning and things that you've said in the past, and just about us as a whole. You have too. Okay, why don't you go first? Say what you need to say. All right, I'm all ears. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. I understand, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. You're right. Yep. I understand where you're coming from. And I need you to understand how I'm feeling too. I mean, look at the state that this relationship has been in for the last 4 months. We barely talk anymore. And when we do, it's when you're going to bed and I get maybe 5 minutes of conversation that you'll actually remember before you pass out. And when it's not at bedtime and we get to talk, all I seem to get from you is just misplaced anger and aggression that I did nothing to deserve. And I know that you've been going through a hard time with work and with family, and I've been trying my damnedest to try and be there for you as much as I can. But do you realize how frustrating it is when I try to get you to open up to me like I did when you called me the other day, and you just completely shut me out? It's so irritating when you get mad at me and tell me that you don't feel emotionally supported, when you don't even talk to me about what it is you're going through or tell me what you need from me to help you. By not talking to me about what it is that's upsetting you and not communicating to me what you need from me and what you want from me, It's setting me up to fail. Add into it all the ultimatums you issued to me for just the tiniest trivial things. And honestly, I feel like you're pushing me away, or like you're just trying to create a valid excuse to leave. I know I've made some mistakes too. I'm not saying I haven't, and I've apologized profusely for those handful of times that I unintentionally hurt you. But saying that I don't do anything for you? Are you serious right now? Who's the one who always goes grocery shopping for you, like your personal shopper? Who brought you breakfast or lunch to your work countless times because you forgot or you didn't have time to make your lunch before you had to leave? And the times that I couldn't bring you food myself because I was at work or I was busy with school or something else, who was the one who sent you food through DoorDash? And when your fancy pencil sharpener at work died, who went out and bought you the same exact one and brought it to you before work even started for you? Who's the one who helps you with your chores around the house while you sit around on the weekends, huh? Who's the one who cooks for you all the time? Who's the one who drives us all over the place? Who's the one who plans every date and pays for almost every date that we go on? Who's the one who plans these huge, day-long dates with multiple things in it for Valentine's Day and your birthday? Who's the one who makes all these grand gestures in this relationship, like when I turn my apartment into your personal spa with rose petals, a blanket nest, a hot bath with candles, a full-body massage, your favorite food and for dinner and your favorite dessert? I do so much for you. I put so much effort into this relationship, and I'm getting nothing in return because you have never done any of those things for me, ever. Oh, you do things for me too. Like what? I can count on one hand the amount of times that since I moved closer to you that I've asked for your help. That being 3 times exactly. The first time being when I was trying to get my apartment clean, and I asked you to help me out by running the trash to the dumpster outside. Something I've done for you at your house countless times, by the way. And you flat refused. Never even gave me a reason why. Just said no. And the second time, when we were at the water park with your family, and I asked you to help me find the gift shop so I could use their fitting rooms to change into my normal clothes since I had to leave for work. And again, you flat refused because you were tired from being in the sun all day. Well, newsflash, we were all tired. And the third time was earlier this month, even. I got some patches for my denim jacket, and I asked you to help me out and but please sew them on for me, because I don't know how to sew. It's something that would have taken you maybe 20 minutes to do, because they're small patches. And once again, you flat out refused. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but for someone who claims that acts of service is their first love language, you don't seem to do many for me. And yet you have no problem just dropping whatever it is you're doing for anyone else. You needed someone to talk to? I was there. You needed support when you were going through a rough patch? I was there, best I could. You needed someone to give you love and personal attention? I'm your guy, right? Anything you needed. You expected me to just drop everything and be there. No questions asked, right? But you can't be bothered to do the same for me. I don't open up either. Oh, I wonder why. Let's see. Last summer, I was having a bad mental health day, and I called you to talk about it and the intrusive thoughts that I was having, and you got angry with me for still having these thoughts and feelings. And you went so far as to call me a hypocrite and say that you felt like you were mothering me, even though I hadn't had a bad day like that for months at that point. Yes, you did say that. So I stopped telling you when I was having those bad days so that you wouldn't feel burdened. And then a few weeks ago, I texted you how I got high praise from one of my bosses at work, and you never said anything about it until later that night when you told me the reason that you don't say anything when I text you about little accomplishments I achieved throughout my day is because it makes you feel jealous and irritated. So I stopped telling you about those things too, since even my successes were too much for you to handle, apparently. You did say that. Yes, you did. God, you do this all the time. I bring up something you said or did that hurt me, and you try to say that it never happened, or that wasn't the way that you remembered it happening. You gaslight me and you manipulate me all the time. And the sad thing is, I fell for it for a long time. I really did. Of course you never knew I was so unhappy, because you never bothered to ask. The whole relationship has always been about what you wanted, how you were feeling, what I could do for you. God forbid I ever try to bring up something in the relationship that I'm feeling, because then you get all mopey and pouty saying that I hurt you, and that leaving me feeling like an asshole, like I should never have brought up the thing in the first place. And then nothing ever gets done to fix the problem. Alright, you know what? I asked you to come here because I was thinking of doing this anyway, but this conversation just confirmed that this is what has to happen. That what has to happen isn't it obvious? What has to happen is that we're done. It's over. Okay? We're done. You weren't the same person I fell in love with 2 years ago. I came to this realization this morning. I can't make someone happy who's determined to be unhappy. I can try as hard as I can. I can do anything that you ask of me. I bought you things. I took you places. I changed myself. I went to fucking therapy for you. I did everything I could to try to make you happy. But you're determined to be unhappy. So none of it mattered. To someone like you who wants to be unhappy, nothing will ever be good enough. You fill your life with sabotage. You won't let yourself take compliments. You refuse to let yourself be proud of your achievements. You don't let yourself find joy in anything that you do. Sit down. I'm not done. You're not shutting me down again. Not this time. You create these situations in your head that never happened, and then you fill yourself with so much guilt that it isn't even yours to carry. You're never satisfied with what you have or achieved. You're not satisfied with any gift that's given or any act of service that's done for you. You always make yourself believe that it's not genuine. And at the end of the day, I'm not responsible for your emotional well-being, just like you're not responsible for mine. I can do all of these things to try and help you, but none of it'll matter, because you choose to be unhappy. And then I'm left feeling irritated and frustrated and beaten down, like somehow I failed because I couldn't lift you back up. My own needs and wants were constantly ignored and shoved to the side, not just by you, but by myself as well, and that's what hurts the most. I neglected myself. I can offer you advice. I can be that shoulder for you to cry on and that ear for you to listen to. That ear to listen to you. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to make the conscious choice to use those tools to try to get out of this mental funk that you've been in, and you don't. And I recognize that there are things I need to fix with myself, things that I need to work on, but you need to fix yourself too. Right, well, I've said my piece, and you've said yours, so I'd like my key back, please. I'll pack up all your things and I'll bring them to you tomorrow. After I get off work, I'll drop them off. You don't even have to answer the door. I'll leave them on the front porch. Because I know you're probably not going to want to talk to me. And honestly, I don't have anything else to say to you either. You know what? After everything, after all of it, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the using me as your emotional punching bag, I still would have done anything for you. I still loved you. Until you said what you said this morning. That was the moment you lost me. That was the last line you crossed that you could never take back. I could have, and I did, look past everything else until that moment when those words left your lips. It made me feel sick to my fucking stomach. So we're done. It's over. Goodbye.